Hi, my name is Dawn, and I am a codependent adult child survivor of narcissistic abuse from both my parents, my dad, my stepmom, and also through a couple of relationships that I was involved in with men throughout my life. The patterns die hard. Old habits die hard, right? Now, so I wanted to make a video and introduce myself. I made a new channel here, and I have just been completely blown apart. Like my heart chakra is just cracking wide open right now. I have been in and out of therapy over the years since I left my parents' home for what I called at the time just straight out abuse, emotional, physical, and sexual abuse. I was not sexually abused by my parents. I was sexually abused by my stepbrother, but my parents knew about it and they did nothing to prevent it. So just to get that clear there. Not that that matters, but anyway. I have been in and out of therapy over the years to try to figure out what the heck is wrong with me. And it wasn't until recently that I fell down the rabbit hole that is YouTube, specifically the community of narcissistic abuse survivors here on YouTube, where I've just been watching one video after another, amazed at the bravery, the courage, the commitment to healing that you guys have. I'm completely inspired. I'm totally, truly, completely inspired. I recognize the pain in a lot of your stories. And interestingly, some of the stories that I've heard are very similar to stories that have happened to me when I was growing up, and I can't believe that I've walked around in a fog for nearly 40 years of my life, wondering what the fuck was wrong with me, and that it took a video on YouTube to open that door and give me some answers. And I'm just, like I said, I'm just cracking apart right now, and it's a good thing. It's actually a really good thing. I've been a vlogger on YouTube since about 2010, so I do have another channel on here, but I wanted to create a different channel because I was actually inspired to create a different channel by Rachel of Escape from Narcissism, because I saw her video where she mentioned that she was using YouTube to help process her memories and experiences, and I felt like that was a really good idea, and so I wanted to do that myself. So I wanted to keep it my processes, whatever. I wanted to keep it separate from my other YouTube channel, because over there I vlog about creativity and spirituality and diary writing, journal practice, and all of that stuff. And while there are some things that might overlap, the two might overlap, I just wanted to use this channel specifically to talk about my experiences, to process some of the things that I haven't processed yet, and to just, I guess, connect with people, And also, I want to, here's the thing, like I said, I walked around for 40 years of my life wondering what the fuck is wrong with me, and it wasn't until I found these videos that I realized it's not me, it's them. It never was me, it's them. And I mean, my God, if sharing my story, or my stories that I have, because there are multiple, if that can help any other person out there who's experienced the same thing get some clarity and feel less isolated or confused, then it's all worth it. It's all so very worth it. I actually went around for as long as I can remember, from when I was still living with them, when I was a teenager, I would go around and tell people, like everyone, anyone who would listen, I would talk about what's going on in my house. And I think of the book Women Who Run with the Wolves by Clarissa Pinkola Estes. And there's a specific story in there where she's talking about the ugly duckling who's just trying to find its home, its family of origin. And she goes into a really long Jungian analysis of the story, which I so love. I absolutely love that. But anyway, I really resonated with that story because I was like that. I would talk to anybody and everybody about what was going on at home, but then I got the sense that people were just so shocked by the stories that I'd tell. Either they were shocked or they were just tired of hearing it. And so I just kind of retracted and pulled back from sharing my stories. And then I realized that, you know, what I was trying to do, I was seeking validation because I didn't get it at home, for one. You know, when you live with narcissistic parents, you're always minimized, and it doesn't matter what you do, you will be minimized in that toxic environment. And so that's what I was doing back then. But as I got older, I realized that sharing your stories is a very powerful way to heal, except if you share your story with just anyone, you risk, how do I want to put it? You risk opening that gash even wider, that wound even more deeply, and you risk basically hemorrhaging is what happens. And so you really have to be discerning in who you want to share your story with, because people can be jerks, and if you're not sharing your story with the right crowd or the right people, you're just opening yourself up for more hurt. And so that's one of the justifications I use, at least, for why I stopped sharing my story. But I was in denial. A large part of it was denial. I was really ashamed of my inheritance, being the family that I came from, you know, the things that they did, the horror stories that I can tell you. I took psychology in college, and I remember Psych 101, we were supposed to write a self-assessment. One of our first assignments was I can't remember what it was called, but we had to say, you know, all about who we are. And mine started out with, my name is Dawn, and I was raised by wolves. And, you know, people were kind of chuckled at that, but I still believe that in my heart. It was a pretty unrighteous upbringing, for real. And so anyway, I just wanted to get that off my chest. I just wanted to share all of that. But I'm really excited to have found this community. I just found you guys like about a month ago, and just listening to the stories has really inspired me to open up a little bit more and to be a little bit more vulnerable and share the experiences that I've endured, at least, and hope that, and my intention is that by doing so, it brings healing to not only myself, but to others who might be looking for answers themselves, because let me tell you, it really feels like a veil has been lifted. Like I keep hearing this term in this community that's the awakening, and yes, it is like an awakening. It's pretty freaking amazing. And so ever since I found this community, I've just been writing like a mad woman, writing down as many memories as are flooding back to me, and it's just been very cathartic in a lot of ways, but I feel like there's still a value and a benefit of being able to verbally express what I've been through and to share that with others, not only to be witnessed, because that it's not about validation, it's about being witnessed. Well, it is about validation to an extent, but more so about being witnessed. And I have very strong feelings about the healing process and being witnessed during that process. I believe that it's necessary, but I believe that it's necessary to be witnessed by those who have your best interest in mind. And so by sharing this online on my YouTube channel, I am taking a very big risk because it is global. It is, anybody can watch it, but I feel that within this community there seems to be, it's kind of self-policing, and I like that. I've gotten the sense that it's very it's a unique community here on YouTube, and so I'm super inspired, and I'm so grateful to have stumbled here and found this. I feel like Alice in Wonderland in a huge way. So anyway, that's where I'm coming from, and I look forward to sharing more in the future. And thank you for you guys opening up and sharing your stories. And we're going to do this. Thank you and love you. Bye. Love you to the moon and back.